Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, it looks to be a stormy finish to 2020. After that, New Year's Day looking very nice, but in between the risk and a fairly significant risk of severe weather developing tomorrow afternoon, specifically into tomorrow evening. Let's get to it and show you the setup here as we have this upper level low that's dipped down into Mexico, and that is also producing some locally heavy snowfall near that upper low across West Texas, and then strong jet stream out ahead of it that's already sparked off severe weather around the Corsicana area, south of the Dallas area, with more to come down the line, and we're going to be part of it down the line as well. As we go back to the west, winter storm warnings. It's snowing pretty heavy down by Judge Roy Bean territory, Pecos, Texas, up through toward the Texas Panhandle, with winter storm watches all the way up through Missouri. Also flood watches for eastern Texas, but we're not going to see flooding rains here. All that heavy rain is going to stay to the west of us, so most of us are going to see less than an inch of rain more than likely with this system. So we're going to concentrate on the severe weather threat. Today, scattered showers earlier today as expected. Not much going on late this afternoon, early this evening, and that's the way it's going to go overnight tonight. It should be a quiet night. I got a 20% chance of a sprinkle or light shower possible through tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow, that's when it's going to get interesting. It's going to get breezy. The wind's going to pick up, and by midday, late morning, early afternoon, we're going to see showers and thunder showers busting out. Now, these storms could be rotating storms. These are the discrete cells that are usually ahead of a squall line that could produce an isolated tornado or two. We'll have to watch that. But one of the factors that's always a mitigating factor in severe weather events in the wintertime here is the cooler marine air that's coming from the Gulf of Mexico, chilled by the Gulf of Mexico waters. That sometimes throws a wet blanket on these storms. And although we're going to see rotation for sure in the storms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, the question is, will they work their way all the way down to the ground? So that's what we're going to be on the lookout for. Nonetheless, the substantial risk of showers and storms moving into the area as we head into tomorrow afternoon. This is the graph model, which is getting a little bit better, closer to the timing that we think we're going to see. I think prime time for most of Acadiana, somewhere between 5, 6 o'clock in the evening and about 8 o'clock in the evening for strongest storms. And mind you, we don't see a solid squall line here, and also there's probably going to be some severe weather ongoing over eastern Louisiana and Mississippi at the same time. The main impetus of this low is off to the north, so you're not going to get a definitive push of a squall line across the area, but nonetheless, showers and some thunderstorms could get out of hand. Then cooler, drier air working its way in as we head toward Friday morning. Temperatures Friday staying mostly in the 50s, perhaps touching 60, with partial sunshine back into the forecast. Now, as for that severe weather risk, the Storm Prediction Center has us hatched in for an enhanced risk of severe storms. That's rotating storms that could produce an isolated tornado or two and some wind damage as well. And again, primarily for Acadiana, late afternoon, early evening hours for our area. But an enhanced risk, we see that just 2 or 3 times a year tops when we're in that kind of a risk. Now, here's a kind of an explainer of what happens, and we're just stopping this, looking at the wind profile with height, and we're going to see increasing winds. This is at the surface. This is at 5,000 feet, 18,000 feet, and then 34,000 feet. And we see those winds veering with height, turning clockwise with height, and also the wind speed increasing with height. We see that on the Opelousas upper level shot, and also Alexandria, even more veering here. So perhaps the northern portions of Acadiana may see those strongest wind dynamics that could allow for wind damaging storms and perhaps isolated tornadoes. And this is a helicity product on one of our models, and what we look for is where we're going to see the spin potential greatest as we head into late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, northern parishes of Acadiana. So we'll watch that, and I have a model update coming to you coming up tonight at 10 p.m. So relatively quiet night tonight, mild 64 the low. Tomorrow, rain chances gradually increase. Expect a tornado watch for most of Acadiana at some point during the afternoon into the early evening hours. Temperatures balmy in the mid 70s, but we'll be cooling back down, and the sun comes back Friday. A mixture of clouds and sun into the first part of the weekend, and nice and cool weather as we head into early next week. But next week, we'll see moderating temperatures once again.